This truth is incredibly simple. It's way too simple for the mind. And that's why it takes for such an unwinding to happen, to be able to recognize the simplicity, that it's just about resting in the being. And the mind will come up with so many ways of, well, oh yeah, but what about this? And what about that? And how do you do? And in order to just avoid just resting in the being. But the pointing, the instruction is always the same. It's all about resting in the being, in order to recognize that the being is ever present and ever free. And no amount of questioning from the mind will change that the core simple pointing is to rest in the being, to be aware of what's moving and changing, in order to recognize that as the aware being, you're not affected by that. And the deeper that this resting happens, the aware being starts to realize its independence. And then it starts to focus more upon being aware of itself. And when awareness is aware of itself, when consciousness is consciously awake and aware of itself, then everything is starting to shift. Then we're out of the dream, we're out of the illusion. The knowing is, okay, I'm not that one. I'm not all that busyness. I'm not that story. I'm independent of that. I'm free of that. And once the recognition has come, of course, it has to deepen and really ground into itself. And that can happen by lots of little glimpses, or it can come like a big flash of very clear seeing. But once this is in place, then we've seen through the illusion, even if there's still refinement and the ability to forget. The illusion has principally been seen through. And now everything is happening in consciousness. It's like now it's just, it's been handed over to consciousness. You're not the dream, you're not the dreamer. Now you're awake in the dream. And now you've got to work out how to completely get out of the dream. But you get completely out of the dream through refining everything that seems to hook you in the dream, and stay true to the knowing. I am not this dream. I am not this dreamer. I am not the dream character. And an absolute vigilance for freedom from the dream, right? So you've seen through the illusion, but there's still this play and this sense of being able to go backwards and forwards. And the vigilance to not follow the mind is what brings, in a way, a seeing of the play, of the dream, and being able to see, oh, this is a movie, this is a story, a character with a story. And as the awareness of that character and the story, to keep illuminating everything about the character and the story, until the knowing that you're absolutely not that gets clearer and clearer. And in a way, as all of the attachments to that story and narrative and life and everything fall away, it gets filled with love. The whole life just becomes this light, becomes this love, because it's just life living itself. And it still looks like and feels like kind of a human experience on a certain level, but the perspective of seeing it is completely different, right? And this is what's in process. Right? This is what's in process. Is mostly the dream has been seen through. The illusion has been seen through. Yes, there's the ability to forget, but we're in this process of refinement. And in the process of refinement, we have to have this vigilance to stay true with the knowing of what's true, and stop feeding the mind. Because if we keep feeding the mind, it will just keep being hungry for more. It will just keep perpetuating itself. So the vigilance is where the knowing knows what's true and says, oh, I see that that's the mind, but I don't believe it. I don't listen to it. And I don't dance to the tune that it's playing. No way. Right. And the deeper in, the clearer that is, the clearer it is. And the more there's an easy natural capacity to just see it and ignore it. See it and ignore it, and be then aligning with the true flow, life living itself, the knowing that knows, the flow that knows, the flow that's life living itself, true movement, true movement. And of course, nothing is ever wrong, but there's this ability to illuminate. Oh, this doesn't feel good. What happened here? Illuminate. Oh, moved from conditioning, said yes when the heart said no, doesn't feel good. Illuminate it, feel the feelings. Next time, something different will probably happen. Often we have to repeat these things many times to really free it, because our conditionings and our ideas of, oh, I have to, and I should, and I must, and but, and all of this. But we get to a point where it's like, well, that's the mind. Not true, not true. Stay still, stay still. Don't make a move. Don't believe it, don't move, don't tinker with it, don't go towards it, just stop. Just do not do a thing. See it and stay still, stay still, stay still. Stay as yourself, rest as the being. And true movement is natural. True movement just happens. It's really removing this overlay of doubting, questioning, should I, shouldn't I, where? It's just, all of that has to go, right? All of that, the one that's being like, well, what if, and all of this kind of stuff. It's like, all of that's got to go. All of that's got to go. It's just, no, don't even have to explain, right? That's a whole other area, is the me that thinks that you have to explain yourself. Not at all. Just not getting a yes means it's a no. See you later, right? It's really simple. You can make it as simple or as complicated. You can make it as simple as simplicity is, or you can make it as complicated as, well, I really just don't know, and well, what are they going to think, and nothing, right? There's the mind. It's got lots to dabble in and doubt and fuss around. Be still, stop, don't move until true movement happens, right? It's very profound to, get up in the morning, do whatever the practices are, and just sit down. Have no plan. Don't move. Don't move until true movement comes. To actually just not know, oh, I'm in the car. Where am I going? Right? To really allow, what does it feel like to just totally not know? To have a morning or a day where you just don't know. You don't need to fill it up. You don't need to plan it. You don't need to have any idea. There might be a couple of things that need to happen, but to actually just explore, what is it to just completely not know, to be surprised, to be on your way somewhere and feel like, oh, I'm not going there anymore, I'm going back. Doesn't matter, nothing matters, nothing matters. And this is what's in process, is recognizing that nothing matters. The mind thinks it matters. It doesn't matter. Does it matter to the being? You can confirm it. You can prove it. Does it matter to the being? What has the being got to say? Nothing. There's the truth. That's the truth. Right? So, simplifying.